Before we get started, I want to give you a quick update on some of the things that we've done back there since the last craft room tour. We haven't changed a ton, but I wanted to share. So I wanted to share these shelves in the back of the craft room first. We actually built these at the beginning of last year. I never really talked about them or showed them. So what we use to hang cards, and I know a lot of people ask that. So if you look at that end down there, and then we can go all along, and there's hooked cards along here. And then it actually leads to another little bar on that end. And I believe it's like a curtain rod from IKEA. So be sure to look out for that, because there are some things from IKEA you can kind of repurpose, and here we use it to hang cards and projects. And then those shelves are actually just made with pipes and a piece of wood. So that's really cool. We kind of used some fun industrial looking pipes to create those awesome shelves in here and make it look a little bit more masculine. But of course you can do kind of whatever you want in your craft room, and of course there's still Christmas decorations up. I gotta probably change those soon, but hey. Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley from Inklipse, and welcome to my craft room. Now I did a couple videos on my craft room already. I did a full-on craft room tour. That was a little while ago, and a couple things have changed, but I'm not going to walk you through the room completely today. However, you will see lots of it as we cover some material. And then last year I shared another video on how to organize your craft room and how to keep it clean, and that was like right before we left for some sort of trade show, and I was up the whole night filming and editing, and then we went right onto a plane. So it was super funny. I actually just cleaned my craft room for when we were leaving. So this time, I'm going to be walking you through the steps on how to create a craft room like this, and how to figure out which organizational systems work best for you in your craft room. And that way, if you're creating a craft room, or if you're just organizing your craft room, or trying to redo it to make it more functional in the new year, hopefully this video helps you, because throughout doing my craft room, I really discovered my organization style and what works best for me as I'm creating, and I want to share that with all of you. Now the first thing that I wanted to mention is you need to find the storage and organization that works for you personally. Now there's those kind of square cubby things, and I actually have one in this room. It doesn't work great for the storage that I like to do, because in those you have such a big open area, and you're really not able to shove as much as you want in there without having to stack it. And I'm not one to dig through stuff and put everything back into the bin, but if you are, maybe those square units are perfect for you. If you like to just chuck things into bins and kind of search a little bit, find what you need, and then put everything back. But I find for me, I take out a bin, I leave everything all over the floor until I find what I need, and it never gets put back. So for me, you'll see behind me, there's lots of drawer units. There's drawer units in my desk, there's lots of little drawers behind me, and I also have a big pantry unit with lots of drawers in there as well. I find that that works great for me, and especially if I'm having like those pantry drawers, I'll put lots of little dividers and sections, and also little bins that I can pull out and take to my work surface. That way I can take my products to my work surface and put them back once I'm finished, and I find I'm much more likely to do that than pull products out and put them back in their home, out, wherever they could be, without a bin. I think even if you are more of a digging kind of bin person, having drawers in a craft room is almost a necessity. Now one of my favorite drawers are the Alex drawer units from IKEA, and I have two of the normal ones and then two of the short and wide, and then we built those all together on kind of its own unit. That way they're a little bit raised up off the floor, and they have a little bit more storage and a countertop on top of it. Now what I really like about these drawer units is because lots of our craft supplies are small, but there is tons of them. And so with this kind of storage, you have those shallow drawers that you can't really store much in, but you can store lots of those small bottles and jars that you have a lot of. For example, embossing powder works really well in there. You also have foiling stuff that I put back there. Glitter, embellishments, all of those little things can go really well in those back drawers, and I have lots of the stuff in there. So even adhesives and alcohol inks, those all go in those drawers back there, and they fit perfectly in there. I find that if I had those little things all mixed up in a bin, I wouldn't find them and I wouldn't reach for them as often. So having them in a drawer where I can pull it out and choose my favorite color and go is really helpful for me. And I recommend lots of the IKEA furniture. Even their desks are amazing, their tabletops are awesome, and they have lots of different units. Even if you want kitchen units, you totally can do that, and those are great for crafting as well. Now another thing you'll notice is that lots of the supplies are actually put away. Now the thing that you see back there, there are some shelves there with lots of knickknacks and some things on there. Those are actually just not really crafting supplies, more of decorations that make me happy to walk in my room and see all of those, which I really love. But I know a lot of people like to have their stuff open and in their face so they can see all their supplies, and that way it makes you use it a little bit more. So if you're one of those people where it's out of sight, out of mind, you don't really want that, because you want to have your supplies out and know what you have and use them. So if you're one of those people, maybe even just getting little shelves that are open like that and clear bins so you can see everything that's inside of them is a really great way to go. I know my friend Alexandra from the Hedgehog Hollow, she has her room and she has a bunch of little shelves, and that way she's able to line up all of her favorite supplies on there and she can easily grab from there. For me, that doesn't work as well, but I love the look of it, and if that works for you in your craft room, definitely try that out. One thing that I really recommend doing is to buy enough stuff so you have lots of room to grow with your craft supplies, because unless if you get rid of supplies just as often as you bring them in, you're going to have an overflowing amount as you keep purchasing supplies and as new stuff comes out, and then it's going to feel a little bit cluttered and you're not going to want to craft in your space. So make sure that when you're organizing even, leave lots of extra empty drawers. It might seem a little bit weird at the time, but then when new stuff comes out, you can incorporate those things into the new drawers and figure out new storage systems that work for them without having to put them on the counter and clutter everything up. So make sure you have extra space and extra drawers as you're purchasing. Or make sure that you're getting rid of stuff as you bring new stuff in. If you aren't using supplies and you haven't used it in a good 2 years, I recommend it's time to get rid of it. That's what I did. That was the same rule of thumb that I used as well. If I hadn't used something in 2 or 3 years, I'm never going to use it. I know us crafters like to say, hey, what if I need that in the future, you know, I'm gonna keep it for that. But for me, it makes me really happy to get rid of stuff once it's all gone, because then I don't have to look about it anymore. If I spent money on it and I'm not using it, I don't have to feel guilty, but then it's in somebody else's hands and they're getting joy out of it, which is really exciting. One thing that you guys definitely should look into doing is labeling everything that you have. So every drawer back there is labeled. It doesn't look like it, but they are. Right when I moved into this craft room, I knew that I was gonna have trouble looking through those Alex drawer units and finding what I needed, because there are so many of them. And so I was a little bit hesitant to label it because I didn't want to have all those visible and look kind of ugly on there. So what I did is there's a little lip in there where you can kind of look above and see exactly what's in the drawer because there's a label inside of there. That way you don't have to see it from the outside, but if you're kind of standing above it and looking in to get into those drawers, it's really easy to see what's inside. So if you don't want to ruin any drawers, you can always hang a little label from a tag, especially if you have little knobs on each drawer. That's really helpful as well, but knowing what's inside of each drawer helps you to get a little bit more use out of it and know where to put it back as well. Now, one thing that's really important is knowing how much work surface you want. So whether that's an L-shaped desk where you work at one point and then you have something on the other side of your desk, or having a regular desk and maybe another one behind you with drawers underneath it like I kind of have in here, that really helps me out, because I'm able to work at this main desk, and when I want anything cut or die cut, I turn back there and I'm able to do it right back there. So that keeps those big machines off my desk, but I'm able to turn around and use them really easily. And there's tons of storage underneath it as well. So you want to think of those types of things as you're creating your craft room. Even just getting a tabletop like I have back there, that's actually a countertop, on top of your drawer units is really super helpful. Especially with those Alex drawer units, you're able to put a tall one and then 2 of those short and wide ones and another tall one, and that way it creates a little bit of a cubby in between there as well, so you're able to shove even more tools inside of there. So think of every little thing like that. In those sections, I put my most used tools, like my trimmers, but my foam adhesive, and my cardstocks that I don't like to have on top of the counter, but want to have in an open cubby so I can easily grab it. So making sure that you're accounting for all your different supplies when you're buying your work surfaces and when you're buying your storage and drawer units is really, really important. Not even so much the little things, but just account for all of your larger tools and the things that you use most often so you have some really good and efficient storage for those things. Now this is also really helpful and a huge time saver for me and my craft room. What I like to do is instead of just storing things that are just alike, like, oh, paints in one drawer and then other things in another drawer, you know, different things like that, I actually store it with everything I'm going to need to grab for a project. So let's say I was going to grab paints, I also keep my gel plates, my paint brushes, and all those types of things right in the same drawer with the paints. That way when I go to grab that, I'm able to bring it to my desk and have everything that I need to create a project like that. So with alcohol inks, I have all the alcohol ink surfaces and all the tools and all the foams and blending tools that you'll need to create with alcohol inks. So it really is helpful to have all those things grouped together in one drawer so you can easily grab it in like a bin or something like that and bring it to your desk. So here's my foiling drawer, and although this one looks a little bit cluttered, it's definitely not. It just has all my foils in here, so I'm able to grab whichever one I want for my project. There's also some Gina K foils and transfer sheets over here that I can look through pretty easily and see what I want for my project. Some of those stamp and stencil ones as well. And then I have my flocking and my laminator. So this is a really good example of something that I don't use all the time, but when I want to do it, I can easily pull out my laminator, my foils, or my flocking, or whatever I want to foil and bring it to my desk really quickly and easily. So everything is all together in one drawer. I don't split this stuff up, and I didn't feel like it needed a huge area, so it just takes up one of the drawers in my craft room. Now another thing I want to mention is in all those little drawers that you see, there is actually little bins and other dividers and trays and things like that that I put inside of those drawers to help carry things to my desk. This was super important to me because if I just have a bunch of little bottles, it's going to be hard to put away and I'm not going to want to do it. So having even just little cardboard boxes. You don't need to spend a ton of money on these things. It might sound like I'm saying you do, but you know, if you want to just use cut up Amazon boxes, that works just as well as a tray. So just cut them down, kind of makeshift. I used to make my own ink pad holders and organizers with cardboard boxes as well. If you cut it down and then you cut little dividers and little sections in there, you can really be creative with tape and cardboard boxes because we all get tons of boxes from Amazon, and if you put good use to them, that is awesome as well. One more thing that I want to talk about that is super helpful for me is having storage units that are made for crafters. Now this is a little bit pricier, but it definitely is really worth it, and it really makes things more efficient and saves lots of time with the supplies that you purchase, which I find to be super helpful in my craft room, mainly because if I spend that much money on supplies, I want to spend a little bit of money on craft room storage units as well. That way I'm able to easily use those things and not feel like it's kind of hard to pull out or, you know, put all those supplies away, and I want to be able to quickly craft and then be able to put it all away and have it all nice and cleaned up and have a home for everything. And so especially for ink pads and markers and things like that, this Stampin' Storage company is absolutely amazing. So you'll see two big units on my wall over here. Those are 120 ink pads that fit inside of there. So one of those might be really great for a craft room, and you can get them in smaller sizes as well. So having those are really great. There's ones for distress inks with blending tools and markers, and there's also really great marker holders that they sell as well. And I'll link to videos that I've done up here in that corner as well, so you guys can check those out as well to see those a little bit more up close. But they're really nice solid wood units, and they've made them really beautiful, so you can paint and stain them whatever color you want to match your craft room, or just leave it the natural wood color like I do. But I've had huge success with these, and I love showing them with all of you guys because I have loved them so much, and I'm not paid or sponsored to say that. I do have an affiliate code down below, and also there's a percentage you can get off using a code that I have, so be sure to check those out if you want a little bit off of your first purchase. But I really do believe in Stampin' Storage. They make some great stuff. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this and some of the tips that I have. If you're setting up your craft room and needed a couple tips, I hope they did in fact help. I really enjoyed creating videos like this, and if you want to see more, be sure to leave comments down below and let me know down below what kind of storage you like in your craft room. Whether you like drawers or leaving things out in the open, kind of what crafter are you? Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and be sure to click the subscribe button down below if you never want to miss another video like this one from me. I'll see you guys very, very soon with another card making and crafting video. Have a great day. Bye guys!